Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is issue 33 of DeAgostini's Build Your Own X-Wing. So, let's have a look and see what we've got. This is a third of the way through, because there's obviously 100 issues in this. 33 is a third of the way through, so it feels like we're getting somewhere. Through the first part of the magazine, we've got On the Attack, hot rodding the T-70. This was improving the speed of the X-Wing for Poe. But yep, that's all fine. Interesting stuff about Han Solo and the Kessel Run, obviously the Millennium Falcon, the Lando Calrissian version with the escape pod and the blue paintwork. So yeah, stuff about there, pictures, and here we have the building part. The upper port laser cannon is what we're continuing with today. I have the parts from the build. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We've got the laser generator LED, which is there. The laser cannon housing inner half. A bag of screws. A couple of rear laser generator outer halves. Let's move that up there so you can see what I'm doing. A couple of those. Forward laser generator end cap. Laser generator union. Middle lower fuselage cross member. And the forward lower fuselage cross member, the forward laser generator outer and inner halves, and the other rear laser generator half, and the rear laser generator. There we go. That's all the parts we need. So let's have a look and see how we put them together. It says take 7 parts plus the LED, which is wired to a plug. So let's get them all up on here and see exactly what we're dealing with. It looks like we need basically all the interior bits. So we've got that goes in the middle. These two first. No, that's there. Those two are over there. Those two are there, and that one's there. Right. Okay. Fit the LED into the small hole at the end of the forward generator cap. So the little hole on the end there, coming from the inside, putting it through there. It's a round capped LED and round support on the bottom there, so it's just a case of jamming it in there real good. There we go, that sticks out there a bit. Gently push it in so its tip protrudes from the end cap. You might have to push it in with a tool. There we go, a little bit further out of there, just pushing that end with a screwdriver. Okay, then the next two sections have to obviously make it go around the hole. Which way around does it say? Let's have a look. It's got that further down than closer, so that way round by the looks of it. It should have a cut out piece by the looks as well. There's a cut out piece on each one, so that doesn't actually help. But we can see on there, just about the bottom of the page down there for you. It's got that thicker edge piece closer to this, so we'll get the wire going around there. Where's that edge piece going to be? Is it there? No, it's on this. Let's get that down the bottom then. That goes around, and that piece keys in up the top there, so we'll get that plugged together, and then we can get that plugged in up there. Okay, there we go, next page. The next stage is the tube. Again, obviously just goes all the way through and along, and that end keys into that end there. This is all, again, stuff that we've done before for the other laser cannon that we did previously. Then we have the bit that I just dropped, that one there. So the wire comes out the side there, and that goes in there like that. These two then go together. Now all of this is going to be hidden inside, so all of this detail work is completely superfluous. But it's always fun to know that it's there, isn't it? That goes on there like that, and there we have, as it says, this completes the generator, which can now be installed in its housing. But it can't quite yet. This is the piece that we have delivered this time, and indeed the part from last time. Now we're going to be doing, as it said, the expert tip. I don't remember if it said this as an expert tip last time or it was just something that I decided to do, but yes, you do need to stop light bleeding out of it, because the way this fits into here, basically it just means that when you light up this bulb, all of the outside, the light leaks through it and makes it look rubbish. So it says, before you do it, paint the inside of it black, which I shall do magically now. I'm just going to use some black primer just to cover it over and get some coverage in there. So I'll use a little bit of black primer, just brushing it in, and after that I'll show you what it looks like. Right, so while we're waiting for the paint to dry on those, we might as well continue with the next part after it's been assembled. It says to do the extending the frame. So this is the frame that we had from a few times back, or last time. It's been a while, I don't remember. But we've got two more pieces to put onto that today. And we have the middle cross member, which is that one, which you'll be able to figure out where it goes because it's shaped inwards slightly. And you can just measure it and see where it fits. So it's going to fit about there, I should think. Let's have a look and see what it says. I think I've got this the wrong way up anyway, so yes, it goes on the underside. And you can see it's next to the pieces there with the little pins that come out. So the pins that come out of here will go through there and hold that in place. And then you get two screws, which I'll drop and pick up again, and then probably drop again, and eventually we'll get one into there. And as ever, I'm not tightening up the first one, just to make sure that the second one lines up and goes into the right hole properly first. Then you can tighten up the second one and go back to tighten up the first one again. And then we have the end piece by the looks of it. The forward cross member goes this way round. It has in the picture like that, and it goes in on the end there. And the two more screws. We've got 5 screws delivered in this issue, so that means 1 spare and 4 for the use of. They go in. I'll put one in so you can see, then I can twiddle it round and show you properly. They're going in the end there and holding that in place. Now the middle piece of this frame is still a little bit wobbly. I don't know if I just haven't tightened it properly or fully or enough, or if it's just not lining up quite well, but this middle piece here has still got a lot of bend and flex to it, although the screws are all the way through and tight. I'm assuming that when other things go onto it and everything else, it's all going to tie it together and hold it on more securely, but it's not quite as nice as most of the Falcon went together, really nice and secure. So I don't know if it's me or if it's them, but I did the Falcon and I didn't have the trouble with that then. There are obviously these bits that still need attaching and things going around them as well. So it's likely that it's not me, it's just the way it is at the moment. I'll just try and tighten them up a little bit more. No, they're not tightening any more than that, or they are a little bit. They're very tight. I don't want to over tighten and cause problems. It's a little bit less wobbly, so it's probably me just not wanting to strain too much. Obviously now they're supported together, that's added a little bit more stability to it as well, but no, it's still got that shake to it, but we'll worry about that down the line. Other things will be added to it. It says that completes the assembly for this stage. Well, it does for that bit, but not for the other bit. So I'll move that to one side and then we'll come back and we'll see. Let me get that screw out of the way because we don't need that quite yet. Right, as the expert tip has pointed out, I have painted the inside of these. If you haven't got black paint, anything will do it as long as it's opaque and not going to let light through. In fact, if you were to do it in some sort of chrome or silver, it might make the bulb brighter because the light will be reflected back instead of sort of being killed by the black. But anything will work to do it. You don't have to be neat. You can see I've not kept to any particular line in the inside of this. Any further down doesn't matter. You don't want to go on the outside though, unless you're going to be repainting the outside completely, but you know, there we go. Right, so into this we are fitting our lit tube. Obviously the 2 pins there are going into the 2 holes there, one of which I've painted black, but we won't worry about that bit. So that just goes into there and into there. Just about to see those going into place. Squidging that down, and that is now held in there nice and securely. The other side has the cutout for the wire, so you need to make sure that gets into the right place and move the wire up and round so it catches it, and then that will close around there. Into the end of that, one of the parts from previously, that goes onto that end, and it says don't do anything else with it. Now this piece obviously goes on the other end. I have been keeping on it, on the half of it that I've had, because of these 2 pipes things there. You want to make sure they don't get broken, so I've been keeping that on there to keep that from coming out. So that holds that together. So there we have that. It does say you can test it, and I will. I'll plug in my wire, my battery box for the testing, and yep, we've got a red light coming out at the end, and I can't see any leakage around here. Let me turn some lights off and down and around. Let me turn my other set of lights down. So yeah, there we go. Where are we getting light? There's a little bit out the end there, but not anything to speak of, but the rest of it is all fine. So there we go. Let's put the lights back on and say thank you very much for watching. That's been the end of this episode. This issue is finished. So yeah, the picture on the back, we have again an X-ring blowing stuff up, because that's what they do best. Thank you for watching. That was issue 33. 34 will be following very shortly. I have 34 and 35 ready to build, so I'll get those done very soon, and the videos will be up in the next day or 2. So thank you for watching. I hope you've been following along with the build, and I shall see you soon for more of the same, basically. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.